Hey y'all, it's your girl Toyia T, and we are here for our New Year, New You episode. And I'm super excited about this episode because I feel like 2020 just extended. But today I decided this is the beginning of the new year. January 20th, 2021 is the first day of the rest of your life. So get ready, we have a great episode. Before we get started, I do want to just acknowledge the fact that I'm natural for 2021. Y'all see my curls? Hey. I'll have to put in whatever the product was. My cousin dropped it off. So shout out to Natasha for sharing the love. We have a great show ahead of us. We have Kareem Ellis here, the #1 breakthrough therapist, and really just a person that's going to help us get connected and make sure that we're thinking about what the best thing is for 2021 and how we're going to get through this year and power through it. We also have a guest from the community, Jill McCauley, and we're going to have both of them introduce themselves. But we selected Jill because she had a particularly hard year for 2020, and we wanted to say, what can we do to make 2021 a better year? So with that, I would like to introduce my guests. If you could come on to the show and introduce yourselves. We'll start with Mr. Kareem Ellis, the #1 breakthrough strategist. Go ahead and give us a brief introduction, Kareem.
All right. Well, thank you, Toyia, so much for being on the show. My name is Kareem Ellis. I'm the #1 breakthrough strategist, speaker, teacher, trainer, and coach. And I love helping people break through their own barriers. So today we're going to tackle the concept of 2021 and how we leave the negativity of 2021 in the past and open up brand new doorways for that year called 2021. I'm sorry, 2020 versus 2021.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to you giving us that knowledge, Kareem, to keep us moving for 2021. And Jill, do you want to do a brief introduction as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I am Jill McCauley. I am a happily married mother of 3. Actually, in 2020, we celebrated our 25th wedding marriage anniversary.
Awesome.
I have 3 daughters, and we've lived here in Cincinnati for 18 years.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you being here, and we're excited to learn a little bit more about your journey and how we can make 2021 an even more fabulous year than what you anticipated it would be.
All right.
So to kick things off, we know that 2020 was a rough year, and that's for everybody. Really, most people had 2020 was like, listen, I need 2020 to go away so this 2021 can be better. And we all watched the inauguration today, so we've turned over a new leaf. We watched Trump make his way out and Biden and Harris make their way in, so we're looking forward to the transition. But what was the hardest part of 2020 for you, Jill?
Yeah, I would say, and thank you, because I met you as a wonderful connector in helping me find new employment. I lost my job early in March. You know, as many people during COVID lost their jobs, I was laid off. My department was kind of phased out, and 2 of us were let go. So 2020 brought, particular challenges financially. And then, of course, the pandemic was in full swing. So I had children home doing schoolwork, and it was somewhat happy in the midst of a transition because we were all together. But at the same time, they were missing their schoolwork, they were missing their friends. It seemed very tentative. You really didn't know how safe you were inside or out. So, and then we lost 2 relatives down south due to COVID. They're in Louisiana. So my husband lost his stepmother, whom we belovedly call Granny, and wonderful woman that my younger 2 daughters didn't even get a chance to meet. And so that was very sad for us
Right.
because we could say firsthand that, we had loss in our family along with an uncle. Due
Right.
to COVID. So, just being concerned about our elderly relatives down south. I hail from the South, Tennessee, my husband, Louisiana. And so it was tough in that regard, just not knowing, how things would end up, especially when we were all homebound.
Right. The uncertainty, the loss of
Mhm.
loved ones, the loss of
Mhm.
job
Yeah.
stability, all
Yeah,
those things that
absolutely.
we like to hold near and dear that I think
Right.
sometimes cause us some anxiety, right? We don't know what's next or what's coming around
Absolutely.
the corner. Um,
Absolutely.
and how did you cope with that, Jill? Was there anything in particular that helped you cope?
I will say, thank God for technology. I was just on my virtual Bible study. And so I did several Bible studies virtually, which kept me connected to people. In one of my Bible studies, we even had a member who was in the Bahamas. Another Bible study, we have members, from all over. So that helped me stay connected. I did fun TV binge watching with my girls. I have two teenagers at home. So we did all the Marvel movies, all the Harry Potter movies. We tried to do some home projects, but it was okay if we didn't get them all done.
Right.
But I would say those kinds of things were sustaining the spirits. It was just important to keep your spirit up.
I think that's definitely very
Yeah.
important. Kareem, is there anything that you would add in terms of, I mean, you have a high energy, right? I always feel like people bring their energy and it precedes them, right? So
Exactly.
what would you say?
So one of the things I'll say is this is number one, shout out to technology, right? Because
Yeah.
2020 would have been almost impossible to make it through
Right.
if we didn't have technology the way we did.
Right.
The second thing I see is this is when Corona-19 shut the country down. And let's just not say country. Let's just be honest and say it shut the world down because the whole
Right.
world suffered from the blowback, right? One of the
Right.
things I saw that was so detrimental on whether or not you're going to really celebrate a new year, a new you, a new me, because let's be real, if I'm talking new you, new me, that means I have intentions of losing the old me, right? I'm not trying to hold on to the old me. I got to let that old me go. So the one thing I ask everybody is, number one, what's your vision? What is your vision? One of my favorite scriptures from the book of life says, write the vision and make it plain. So there's something I'm known for in this day and age, which is called GPS success strategies. And I start off by asking everyone, if your life mirrors that of a GPS, I don't care what the setback is, do you remember what address you put inside your GPS at the beginning of the journey? Because for a lot of us, we put an address inside the GPS, but we allow ourselves to get distracted based on everything we come across on a regular basis. So Jill, number one, thank you for your transparency of saying, this is my COVID-19 2020 life. This is where I'm going in 2021. But for many people, the reason they're facing setback and struggle is they refuse to put an address inside their GPS when they got up this morning. So the first thing I ask, what's your vision? Where do you want to go? And are you focused on the destination? Are you focused on the destination? That's the starting place.
Absolutely. I
Amen.
love that. I
Amen.
want to say, amen, Pastor.
Yes. Yes. Amen.
Because you do have to have a very clear vision. If you don't
Right.
have a clear vision, then you could be led anywhere, right?
Right. The people perish.
But there you go. Without a vision,
Yeah.
the people
Yes.
perish. And the thing
That's right.
is this: it's not always that we perish because we're going to get hit by some lightning bolt because we don't know where we're going. Everyone watching this broadcast has a timer attached to their life, right? And here's that I want people to understand. There were many people who were undecisive about where their journey is supposed to take them to. Unfortunately, we lost a lot of those people as victims of COVID-19. We lost millions of people across the globe who kicked themselves into thinking, I got all the time in the world. So it's a blatant reminder to everyone on here that we got to be clear, number one, where we're going to, because we're working with the concept of time. We don't have an eternity. Every single person has an expiration date.
Absolutely. I think if nothing else, the COVID-19 experience lets you see how fragile life really is.
Yes.
I know right now my brother, who I just met through Ancestry.com, shout out to Ancestry.com. I met him in March and I never knew he existed. He is fighting through the dealings with COVID-19. But thank God he texted me and said, I'm doing well. And that's all coming from prayers. We've been sending prayers up from all around, but it just is a constant reminder of how fragile life is. I've just met him. We're just building a relationship. And now we're faced with him being in ICU. So it's like, how can we make sure that every moment is taken in a way that you're utilizing that time more preciously, because those moments are not guaranteed.
There you go.
Yes, that's so good. Yes.
So what are some things that help you get through the hard times? What would you recommend, Kareem? What are some of the things that, as we go into 2021, obviously, I know personally, I felt like 22 has just been an extension. It wasn't until today that I woke up and I felt like, you know what? I got my vision. Okay, I'm about to work this thing out and figure out how I want 2021 to unfold in a way that's different from 2020. And I feel like, if you don't have that new life, right, that new breath into you going for that next thing, then you can get caught up in the whole like rat race of, you know what, I'm going to work today, I'm doing this today, and it's just how it is.
More of the same.
Absolutely. So we already identified we got to set the address, right? The address dictates where we're going to, what we're doing every single day to get a result. But the second thing is I got to be willing to move with clarity. And I want everyone to pay close attention to this, right? The opposite of clarity is confusion. Right now, you are either moving in a spirit of clarity, meaning I know what my goal and dream looks like, or I'm moving in confusion. The thing that blows my mind the most about a GPS is when I put an address inside it before it even takes me out the driveway, it can show me an image of what the location looks like. It can show me what the house looks like I'm trying to go to. I can see exactly how clear it is. And so what I tell people, set your address, know where you're going, but move in a spirit of clarity. And here's the reason why. When I'm clear about what my vision looks like, now I can pay attention to the resources needed for the journey. So I know what coaches and mentors I need to connect with. I know what to do with that money when it comes in. I'm amazed how many people got a $1,200 stimulus check and didn't even know what to do with it, right? I see that stocks are at their all-time low, but no one was taking advantage of it. The real estate market's heated up. No one's taking advantage of it. So when I'm clear, I know what to do with the resources that help get me to my finish line when it comes to money, education, more importantly, connections. Let's be honest. 2020 was a year where a lot of relationships were challenges. We saw divorces at an all-time high, right? So if I'm clear about where I'm going to, it also lets me know who I need to be pairing with on this journey, from friendships to romantic relationships. And more importantly, lets me know what resources we can agree to leave behind in 2020. We know what we don't need for the journey. We know what doesn't work in this season. So I would tell everybody, move in a spirit of clarity. Just don't guess your way to the finish line. Be crystal clear on how much money you want to see in the bank account by the end of this year. Be clear about what that new entrepreneurial venture looks like. Be clear about what that new book you're going to drop looks like. So when you move in clarity, you're dodging the spirit of confusion. Absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely. Amen. And I always like to do goals daily. I feel like if what gets measured gets done, right? So if you have goals daily that are getting you to whatever that clear vision is, you're going to be more likely to get there. If every day you slacking off, Monday, I ain't do nothing. Tuesday, I was chilling. Wednesday, I needed some ice cream. Whatever your thing is that you're trying to get to, you constantly moving backwards if you're not putting some type of goals in place daily that help you get to whatever that end goal is.
That's exactly it. Keep in mind that a GPS only has one job to do. Once you put the address in, it's up to you to start the car, get the car in gear, and start going towards your destination. So I love the fact you said dodging ice cream, right?
And I love ice cream. Lactose intolerant. No, I love ice cream. Just stare here if I have it around you. So when we think about 2021, right? It's approaching. Everybody's optimistic about it. We've got new leadership in place at the White House. What are some things that we can do to make 2021 better? We got our GPS, we got our vision. Jill, what are you doing to really get to a place where you're going to make 2021 a better year for you? I know we already glammed you out. You're made by Keisha. You went and saw Tiptoe Nail Studio, got your nails done. You went to Hair Village Elite, got your hair done. We got Stephen Hightower and the makeup. Like we just want to make sure that you look the part, right? Because we always say when you look good, you feel good. So we want 2021 to start out with that first foot of I feel good. So now
Yes.
I'm moving into whatever this new thing is. So tell us,
Yes.
what are some things that you have in place? I know 2020 you lost your job, but now 2021 we got some news, right?
Right, right. Yep, I started a new job while I was maintaining the home business. A wonderful opportunity crossed my path, and I work with a wonderful nonprofit organization here in the city, and I look forward to supporting other businesses like ours. So that was a great blessing. And one thing, as Kareem was speaking, I thought of gratitude. One thing we practiced with our family was focusing on gratitude because every day there was bad news. But if you focused on what is good in your life, what went well today, that was important to us. And then another thing for setting goals were spiritual goals. I mentioned the two Bible studies that really sustained me. To be connected to God is of utmost importance because that is part of having the clear vision.
Mm.
That is part of the goal setting is to be connected to our Creator, to our Father God. So all of those things I want to continue into 2021 with a new year of healing and restoration. Those are my words. My Bible study teacher encouraged us to come up with the words for 2021, and that is my combination.
Restoration is definitely one of them, right? I think everyone
Yes,
can use restoration. I know
yes,
for me, I go to dailyword.com every morning, and the daily word this morning was about divine order. And just
yes,
knowing that whenever you're in the right place, you're moving right along that path that you need to be in. I know sometimes we second guess where we are, we second guess what we're supposed to be doing, but everything is in divine order, and it's just a matter of us standing still and hearing from him on what it
yes,
is that he wants us to do.
yes. That's it. Hearing from God.
Mm.
And that
Absolutely.
will give us more clarity and more vision because He has a vision for us. We just need to hear it.
Right. And we need to
Yeah.
listen,
We
right?
need
We
to
need to listen
listen.
because we
Yes,
still have our own free will to do what it
yes,
is that we want to do. But
yes,
when we listen, our path is so much clearer.
yes, yes. It all goes hand in hand.
Anything you want to add, Kareem?
Oh, you know I'm smiling for a reason, right? These bright whites are smiling for a reason. So I'm gonna ping pong real quick off two things I heard just in the last 10 seconds. Number one, you said right place, right time. I'm holding the acorn seed, right? And in order for this seed to start the transformation process, it has to be properly planted in good soil, right? So for many people, they didn't realize 2020 was a season where God was shifting you and putting you in good soil so that transformation process
Yeah.
can take place. So shout out to what you said as far as, being in the right place at the right time. Seed can't grow unless it's properly planted. So we got to be in
Right.
agreement to let ourselves be planted. But then two things
Amen.
that Jill said that she was using to move forward. She said she was basically strategizing and she was willing to recalculate. When you put an address inside a GPS, the GPS doesn't just let you take off. It sets up a strategy of the quickest, fastest way to get to your destination, right? Before you hit the driveway, in seconds, the GPS is mapping out very quickly where we want to go. So number one, we got to be willing to strategize in 2021. We're talking new year, new me. What's the strategy? We got the vision. We know what we want. What's the strategy that's going to give us results? And then number two, am I willing to recalculate? And what that simply means is this. If I put an address inside my GPS, and as I'm driving down life's superhighway, I run into a traffic jam. There is a major accident or a road is out. My GPS doesn't yell at me and say, hey, stupid, we got to go back home. If I miss my turn because I'm not paying attention, it doesn't say, hey, dummy, you made the wrong turn. The only thing my GPS does is it starts to recalculate. It recalculates. It recalculates. It pays attention to where I want to go based on what I put in at the beginning of the journey, but then it starts to create alternative routes to get there. So for many people that decided to put their goals and dreams down in 2020, the question I'm asking you right now, were you just simply supposed to recalculate? Stay focused on the goal and dream, but understand through the uses of technology, through the uses of connections, through the uses of education, were you just supposed to recalculate the route you're supposed to use to get to your finish line in 2021?
Right. So don't give up on the dream. Don't give up on the vision. Just use a new strategy. Go another
Yes.
direction. Make
Yes.
another connection. right? In order to
Absolutely.
get there. Because I think so many people get discouraged, right? That first route didn't work. Now I'm stuck in a traffic jam. I don't have time for this. Maybe it wasn't meant to be.
Mm.
Maybe this was God's protection, right? Maybe this was rejection, God's
Right.
protection. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is God's protection. But other times it's meant for you to still have that same dream, figure out a different way. We want to see how hard you're going to work for that thing, right? Do you really want that thing, or is it was just something for the moment, right? Was it just something for the moment, or is it something that's really important to you?
Let me add one more thing in there, because you said something hit my spirit, right? Every time I'm stuck in traffic and I know where I want to go to, I understand if I take an alternative route, it's going to be a little bit of a delay, right? I intended on getting there in 30 minutes, but because of the rerouting, it's going to take me 45, 50 minutes. Notice, I'm still going to get there. It's just going to be a temporary delay. What I'm saying is, for folks that put their dreams down in 2020, temporary delay does not mean permanent denial. I'm going to say it again. Temporary delay does not mean permanent denial. If you are at a red light, understand every red light eventually turns green. The question is, how long are you willing to wait? How long are you willing to wait?
Patience.
Yeah.
That's something I've been working on my whole life. I've been working on patience because for me, I grew up in this instant gratification world. I was just talking to my cousin, and she was saying a friend of hers didn't have a microwave. And I just thought, that's crazy. How can you live life without a microwave?
Yeah.
Don't you need something right away?
Right.
And so it goes back to, sometimes when you are patient for something, you appreciate it that much more when it comes through, when it shows up in your life, when you're able to experience it, that thing, because you waited patiently for it to either develop, for it to show up, for it to be yours, whatever the case may be. That patience makes it that much sweeter at the end, kind of like that ice cream. Anything else, Jill, that you want to add about your business, or anything in particular that you want the world to know? Because I feel like when you self-proclaim something that you want to get done, it really holds you accountable to get that thing done.
Oh, because I love it.
Told the world, hey, this is what I'm trying to do in 2021. Hold me accountable. The universe, hold me accountable. Make sure that I'm moving in that direction. So anything.
I love it. Yeah, well, I'm just soaking it all in. I love all of the comments, and it's just so important. I love that GPS analogy. But yes, I want to not only grow our own business, our own family business. Our daughter, our eldest daughter, she started her own business. So we are an example of entrepreneurship for her. So just learning about, how to make our businesses successful. And in my new role, with a local nonprofit, I'm, helping other businesses. So it's, there's no irony there. There must be, as you said, the confluence of the universe said, as I put effort into our own business and supported my daughter, now I'm able to support other businesses, with their challenges during COVID-19. So it is, God just brings it all together. He brings all your gifts together, and it makes room for what God has called you to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see if we have any comments. Do we have any comments from the audience? Is there anything that someone would like to have a question on? Temporary delay does not mean permanent denial. They're just repeating what you said, Kareem, which I think is a great point. It's absolutely not a permanent denial. And you have to look at it as such, right? Because you can get discouraged when you hear that first no, but sometimes that first no is just, something to encourage you to go that next step. I know for me, 2020 was the one of those years where I felt like I was constantly being transformed, and everything that had been taken from 2019 was being restored back to me. And so I look at 2021 as that continued restoration. Okay. Amen. Now that I'm back to where I was, how do I get to that next level of making 2021 all the things that I dreamed that it would be? Like, not just being restored, but taking it to the next level. So there are no coincidences, someone says. That's absolutely no coincidences, divine order. You are exactly where you need to be when you need to be there. We need to add Black unification into 2021. We can go further together. That's absolutely true. We can go further together than we can separately. I know that I personally feel like in Cincinnati specifically, we're always looking at, this crab in the bucket mentality of, oh, if I help this person, somehow that's going to lessen my opportunity. But I'm here to tell you, it's enough for all of us. There's nothing that you do for another person that's going to stop what is meant for you, because what is meant for you is only meant for you.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about the competition is not where it's at. You have to compete with who you were yesterday, not compete with the person next to you, because their journey is completely different. Just own yours. That's all you need to do, is to worry about yours and put those blinders on, because you don't have to worry about what the next person is doing. That's not going to get you any further. It's just worrying about where you're going. Going back to Kareem's point, get back to your GPS, figure out what your vision is, where you're going, and work that strategy so you can get to where you'd like to be for 2021. Any final words? We got 3 minutes and we're closing out.
Absolutely. So I got real brief ones I'm going to throw out there real fast. You said something about crabs in a barrel, and I want everyone to understand, because we have this analogy amongst the African-American community. We got to be clear. A barrel's not a crab's natural habitat. When we're in the wild, when a crab is in the wild, there is abundance of resources, right? So we got to stop letting ourselves be put in the barrel in the first place. We got to ask ourselves who put us in the barrel, right? Because I don't know crabs are getting the barrel on their own. We got to be unified and agree. We can't let ourselves be put into a barrel in 2021, because that's where we have the crab in the barrel mindset. We was never supposed to be raised in a barrel in the first place. The second thing I'll throw out there very quickly is connections versus dead zones, meaning when you put an address in the GPS, you connect to a Wi-Fi signal, and that's what allows you to get instructions in real time. So the question I have for everyone watching this, chasing goals and dreams, who do you need to be connected with in 2021 with a strong Wi-Fi signal that's going to help you reach your fantastic finish line? Who's the coaches? Who's the mentors? What educational material? What organizations? What programs like this do you need to be watching on a regular basis? And second of all, who, what, and where are your dead zones? The dead zone is a place where you lose your signal, and if you're not careful, you'll lose your way. So who are the people that are dead zones in 2020 that you need to leave behind, because you get all discombobulated when you hang around them and tell them your goals, your plans, and dreams. And then last but not least, we got to check the history log on a regular basis. Toyia, if I want to know where you've been spending your time since January 1st of this year, all I got to do is check the history log on your GPS. It's going to show me every address you put inside of it since you decided to take the journey. One of the biggest problems I see with most people is their addresses are literally filled with destinations that they shouldn't be spending their time trying to go to. They got destinations for their job. They got destinations for their friends. They got destinations for their family. So when I look inside your life's GPS, will I find addresses designed to get you to your fantastic finish, or are you guilty of cheating on your goals and dreams because you've been spending all 2020, all 2018, all 2015, all 2020 cheating on your goals and dreams by chasing everybody else's agenda? We got to do
absolutely. And with that, we're going to pay our sponsors. We appreciate you guys stepping by to hang out with us today. And remember, 2021, make the vision, create the strategy, and go for it. Thank you.
Amen. Love it. Thank you.
Today's episode of The Plug is sponsored by the following companies. Bodied by Rico. For personal or group fitness training needs, follow him on IG at Bodied by Rico. Bodied_by_Rico. Tiptoe Nail Studio, where you go to look and feel your best. Find them on Facebook at Tiptoe Nail Studio. Jerome Johnson puts the justice system in the palm of your hands, protecting families, producing wealth, and providing dreams. Email him at jeromej25@yahoo.com. Cincinnati 5-Star Barber. Consistency plus professionalism equal decades of success. Visit them on IG at Cincinnati 5-Star Barber to feel like a star. Fitness Queen Royal Fitness is here to help you with all your fitness goals. Follow them on IG at Fitness Queen Royal, FITN as in Nancy, for their next class. And Hair Village Elite. If your hair isn't becoming you, then you should be coming to Hair Village Elite, where they specialize in healthy, beautiful hair. Call them at 513-984-HAIR. The Plug thanks all of our sponsors for helping us keep you connected.